Easy Electrics. We do all types of repairs and electrical installations. We are members of NAPIT, which is a government body. This is similar to Johnny's gas safe, or in old money, is Corgi. On my left, is Calgary, the thinner one. He's a town electrician and is a specialist in LEDs from China. On my right is Adam, which is my youngest son. He's a town served electrician. He's got NVQ level 3 and a few other qualifications, and his specialist subject is winding me up. Right then, so it's not just about fitting the right size cables and the right type of fuse board to the right regulations. It's all about offering a good service all round and a good quality job, and that's not just in wires and sockets and stuff, that's in all types of materials and situations. Alright, I've got a couple of photographs I'd like to show you. If you just put it on down. When I'm talking about doing a good quality job, maybe something a little bit different. If you can imagine when you have a new kitchen fitted, you have it all nicely tiled, and you've got all your sockets on the wall. A lot of people have individual switches for dishwashers, hobs, washing machines, and I think they look a bit unsightly. So what we like to do is to put them in a cupboard, as you can see. There's the hinges of the cupboard, and quite clearly that's for the washer. Could I have the next one, please, Cal? I put that there for Craig, although you're here at the moment, the bottom of the pecs, but that is an isolator for your hob. So, as to say, it hasn't gone on the wall and it's a lot neater. In the event of an emergency, you need to turn it off, open the cupboard, and it's there. We have worked at numerous places, colleges, Bishop Burton, schools, Beverley Grammar, Longcroft and Eastrington. We've also done non-electrical work for B&O and Norfolk Lounge. So that's just a little bit from me. I'd like to pass you on to Adam.
Hello everyone, my name is Adam Drinkall, part of the easy-elec team. And today I'm going to be showing you a couple of things that we've come across and what we use in our line of wear. Here's one of the machines that we use to gain access to high security lighting, either to install them or to repair them. Here's a special gene boom that is small enough to go through a set of double doors, but still give you good height. Here's a picture of one in a sports hall in a school. Here's a scissor lift, it's just a different type of machine. And that's just your standard scaffolding rig. That's some of the access equipment that we use, all for the same reason: installing, repairing and replacing. The next couple of pictures are just a couple of samples of what we've come across, and we think we are very dangerous. Not we are very dangerous. This is a picture of a switch that's obviously had a loose connection in it, and obviously loose wires cause fires. Here's a picture of someone's electrical DIY. They probably thought they've done a really good job here, but obviously not. Does anybody know if their houses are still wired in rubber cables? If they are, this is a classic example of what they look like up in your lofts. Doesn't look the safest. Or can anyone tell me what's wrong here?
It's put in by Dave Stewart.
It's actually full of water.
Oh.
Can anybody tell me what happened next?
Don't know, but it was shocking.
Putting a very long story short, my phone rang and I got wet.
You took the screws up, by the way.
This is a picture of an old fuse board. You might recognise them that you might have installed in your own houses. They were very outdated and not the safest anymore. And this is a picture of what we installed, and these are now to the latest regulations, and obviously look a lot safer. Well, that's it for me. I'd love to stop and show you more, but I'll have to pass you on to Carl.
One makes bikes. It's going to take a couple of minutes to go through a few safety issues with a few fuse boards. Could you really imagine without life, without electricity? Imagine a Saturday night without your TV. Or
I can imagine that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Like living in Gaul, wasn't it?
Outside.
Our communication products. Oh, going back to the dark ages, about going back to your candles. But it's alright. Well, I couldn't have bought hair dryer anyway. Electricity is such a wonderful tool, it provides many nice comforts. But we all take it for granted when we switch on an appliance or turn on a light that is power burn, it's going to work. But is it safe? Electricity can be dangerous if you don't use it in the right manner. There are potentially thousands of unsafe, dangerous electrical items and systems across homes and businesses throughout the UK. Even though many of these systems and equipment have been working fine for decades, it does not mean they're safe. Is your electrical system safe? With developments of new technologies over the years, it's possible to reduce the risks of electric shocks by upgrading your current system and maintaining it on a regular basis. Do you still have a fuse board that looks like this? These fuse boards were installed up until the early 90s. They will supply you with electricity but offer very little protection for the user and under fault conditions could prove fatal and also cause serious damage to property. These days, modern fuse boards have added protection using RCDs. In the event of a fault, the device will disconnect within 0.4 of a second and potentially save lives. This is a picture of a new fuse board. So if you do have one of your type fuse boards, it is better to change it. As I say, it's better to be safe than to be sorry. For example, we can change a fuse board from as little as £250, so saving your business or potentially saving your family. So thank you for listening. That's back to you.
Okay, thank you, Cal. Right, I'm just going to introduce you to a few little props. I forgot my little prop over here. 2 minutes, right. I was going to tell you about a story at East Minton School where I went the extra mile and it backfired, but I don't think I'll have time, so I might tell you later if I've got time. Right, where was I coming from? Right. Johnny, can you tell me what those are?
It's it detects when it goes dark, it brings that light up.
Smashing, that's it, that's exactly what they are. Both doing the same thing. I have showed you them before, but I'm showing you them again. So when the sun goes down, they go off, and when the sun comes up, they go out. Did you like that?
No.
So what is that?
Sensor.
Passive infrared.
Sensor, right. Yeah, it's a passive infrared sensor. So, in the event of one of these coming with his bag of swag, or just wanting to burgle your house, he'll walk past that, he'll pick him up and the lights will come on, thus deterring him. You can go one better and get one of these guard cams, which also does the same thing as that. Turns on the light, but it also starts recording it. And that's just the equipment alone, less than £100.
Bloody hell.
That's good.
That's
Other
the
things,
fifth.
energy saving. All them on there are energy saving. Apart from that one, they're fluorescent. So they're replacing your normal light bulbs, which is obviously that shape, down to golf balls for smaller light fittings. And this one also is the old-fashioned floodlight, which has got a low energy fluorescent light inside, saving about 80% on the electric. Right. How to get referrals for me. I've been reading Rob's good guide on 10-minute presentations. So, when you go around to a friend's house and you find a few dodgy sockets, what are cracked and stuff like that, and light fittings that are cracked, say, have you got an electrician for that? Or, when you're going for a meal at their house, walking down the drive, and the security light won't come on, you can say, a bit dark down your drive, I've got an electrician for that. 2 more. Friends or family are looking to do a self-built house. You could introduce me that way. Or if you know anybody who's buying an LCTV, and they require a hanging service. It's not a straightforward job, but we can obviously put power to it, and we can also put the aerial to it also. That's it. And I did have a few questions to be planted in the audience, but I've forgot.
I've got a question for you, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, Sue, ladies first.
What happened when you went to Eastrington and you went the extra mile and it backfired?
Well, it's only a daft little short story. Sam asked me to go put an LCD, or us to put an LCD TV on the wall. We put it on the wall, and then he says, we need an extra cable in it. So we put the cable in the trunk in, really good, and then there was this awful cable for speakers going around the worktop. So we thought, shall we put it in, shan't we? And I said to the caretaker, shall we put it in? So she said, yeah, go on then. So I thought, go in the extra mile, undid it all again, put it in, jobs are good. And then Sam next day says, what on earth did you do that for? He said, I had to go, I didn't have any tools, just a penknife, I had to undo these screws. My fingers were sore as I don't know what, don't do it again. That's it.
It wasn't as bad as that.
Because it was only a temporary measure, the cable we put in was going to replace them.
Mike, we've got one of those, is it an RCD? But is there something wrong with it? Because every time a light bulb goes in the house, it trips. And then my wife rings me and complains that she's got the house in darkness with the kids running wild.
You have electricity.
That can happen.
Not cool.
That can happen, and that's not a fault, I would have said.
No, it's just doing its job. It's just doing a protection.
Right.
When the light bulb goes, it releases a little bit more energy than needed. And it pops.
Oh,
It
right.
just trips it off. It's just safe. It's just like sometimes you get little mice crawling under your floors and eating cables.
Yeah.
Well, with the old fuse boards, it wouldn't trip off. The mouse would get fried. We could still have the fault in the circuit.
Right.
But with the RCDs, we could just offer a lot more protection.
Okay. But you don't think there's anything wrong with mine?
Just we've got further to that. If the latest ones have got dual RCDs and split your circuits, so if your light goes out on that side,
Yeah.
you've got your other lighting on the other side. So if you've only got
okay.
one RCD, all your light goes off
Right.
in your house, which is obviously quite dangerous if you don't have any torches or candles.
Does Lord Brooks need training on resetting the
Mrs. Brooks.
Mrs. Brooks?
I'm sure
Major.
you will have a course
Lady
if
Brooks.
it does me.
Yeah, any more questions? Well, in that case, thank you very much, Mike.